most glorious month of Kartik. Kartik started this year on 6th of October, and we are in the last 4 days of Kartik. So Kartik will finish on Wednesday with Purnima. So it starts with Purnima, ends with Purnima. And also today we are celebrating Giriraj Govardhan. Though Govardhan is celebrated after Deepavali, but it is said all the glories or all the appearance is in our mind. It doesn't matter what is the date, what is the day. What matters is what is our consciousness. So in our consciousness, if we celebrate Giriraj today, then Giriraj will appear today. So Giriraj is here, though he's not that heighted. Like today's Giriraj, if some of you have been to Vrindavan, we actually struggle to find Giriraj where he is. So this is Kaliyug's Giriraj today. Last year we had Satyug's Giriraj. He was much taller. So we are celebrating Giriraj Govardhan today. So what we will do is, we will do a quick parikrama of Govardhan today. So it is very auspicious to do the parikrama of Govardhan. How many of you have been to Govardhan and have done the parikrama? So many of you have done. So it's a long parikrama, 21 kilometers, and it takes quite some time depending upon our speed. 5 hours is the fastest, and it can go until 10-12 hours the way we do. And people do Danvat parikrama as well. They do it for months. It depends. But it's very, very powerful when we are in presence of Giriraj Govardhan. Whenever you get opportunity, be in presence of Govardhan, because Govardhan is very, very magical. The experience around Giriraj Govardhan is very magical. So because we are stuck in Bournemouth, so let's go to Vrindavan today from here mentally. It's called Mansik Parikrama. We will try to do as quickly as we can. Giriraj Govardhan is like a peacock feather. And another, it is said, is that Giriraj Govardhan is like a cow. So if we look at the cow, then it's like slightly a cow shaped with a tail behind. But it resembles more to peacock. So this is Giriraj Govardhan's aerial view, and there are some areas when we do parikrama, Giriraj Govardhan is visible, where we can have the darshan of Giriraj. Otherwise, it's mostly when we go through the city, and it will be like shops and market, and we will struggle to see where is Giriraj. But these are the places where we can see Giriraj Govardhan. So when we start the parikrama, of course there are many places. There are hundreds of places in Giriraj Govardhan. But today we will try to visit some prominent places. So we will start our parikrama from most glorious Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. So in the picture we see the bigger Kund is Radha Kund, and the smaller one is Shyam Kund. In the top picture, the bigger one is Radha Kund and the smaller one is Shyam Kund. So Radha Kund is straightforward. It's like a rectangular shape because Radharani is also straightforward. And Shyam Kund is very different shaped. If we look at the smaller one, it's like not even rectangle, it's not square, it's some kind of weird shape because Krishna is Tribhanga. He also stands bending. His Kund is also bending. But these two Kund lie next to each other, and parikrama starts from these two Kund. So we'll just quickly hear the pastime of how Radha Kund and Shyam Kund appeared. So once after killing the demon, now this demon was in the form of a bull, and it is said that killing a bull is sinful according to our dharma scriptures. So Krishna killed, and that time when he came to gopis in the evening, these gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani, they started criticizing Krishna, saying that you have killed a demon who was shaped as a bull, and hence you have accumulated lots of sin, and we can't come close to you. You have to go and take bath in the holy river, like Ganga, Yamuna, wherever, but you have to atone for your sins. And that's time Krishna said, "Oh, I need not to go anywhere because Krishna is lazy also. He doesn't do the. Why should I go to Ganga and travel all the way?" So what he did, he just dig this kund with a stone and called all the rivers with mind, and all the rivers, the moment Krishna calls, of course if Krishna is calling, everyone has to listen. So all the rivers appeared and they entered into Shyama Kund. And now Krishna jumped into this kund along with his friends Gopals, and that's how Shyam Kund manifested. Now this was Krishna's turn. Now Krishna is like, okay, now I'm pure, I got rid of my sins. Now you all are sinful as well. So gopis were like, how we are sinful? So Krishna said, because when this bull demon was passing through, you all were standing there, and this demon's shadow fell on you. So even you are impure and you need to purify as well. And now go and take bath in the holy rivers. And now Radharani is like, why should I be going anywhere? Even if you can make a kund, I will also make a. So they all started, the gopis, they started digging the Radha Kund with their bangles. They were digging. And after, now with our human logical brain, we'll be like, how come someone did this kund with bangles? This is logically not possible. So when we hear these transcendental pastime, we have to keep our tiny-minded logic aside, because Radha and Krishna are beyond our logic. Who gives us the logic is Krishna. So when they were digging, the kund is ready, but there is no water. And now Radharani, of course, Radharani tried calling all the rivers, but then Krishna, he gave hint to all the rivers, don't come. Of course, if Radharani is calling, they will come. But now Krishna wants to have the pastime, he wants to tease them, so he just instructed them, don't come. And now rivers were not coming. And Radharani is getting more and more angry, and she's like, no, still. So Radharani is she's very submissive by nature. By nature, she is always surrendering to Krishna. But when it comes to these kind of arguments and exchanges, sometimes she can get a bit tricky. And that's why does some, in Sanskrit, the word is called as man. She does this for some time where she says, oh, even I can be like you, Krishna. So Radharani said, okay, if rivers are not coming, we will bring water from nearby Ganga, which is there in Govardhan. It is called as Manasi Ganga. So we will get the water from Manasi Ganga. So all the gopis, they made a queue and they were standing next to next, and they started bringing water pot by pot from Manasi Ganga, and they filled their kund. Looking at the determination of Radharani, at the end Krishna gave hint to all the rivers that needs to come. And at the end all rivers did come and they appear. And that's how Radha Kund appear. So Radha Kund appears in the appearance day of Radha Kund is also in this Kartik month. So when it was there some days back. So Radha Kund and Shyam Kund is very, very glorious. And according to different sampradayas, people have different way of worshipping Radha Kund. Instead, if you take a dip in Radha Kund, it's very purifying. According to Gauriya Vaishnavas, we don't put our feet in the Radha Kund. So we take the Achman, and it depends upon our mood. But at the end, it is said if we go into the Radha Kund, and it's very, very purifying, and it can actually give us the pure love for Radha and Krishna. That's the potency of this kunda. So even if we are not there physically, mentally, if we imagine that we are at Radha Kund and we are taking Achman, or we are taking some nectarian drops of Radha Kund on our forehead, it will really purify us today. So we'll move ahead from Radha Kund to Lalita Kund. So Lalita and Vishakha, they are the best friends of Radharani. And Lalita and some of you must have seen in the altar close to Radharani, there are two ladies standing with chamar or flowers. So they are Lalita and Vishakha. So basically, there are Ashta Sakhis. In fact, there are thousands of Sakhis of Radharani, but these eight are leading. And among these eight, Lalita and Vishakha are the leaders of all the Sakhis. Now, the mood of Lalita and Vishakha is also very different. Their nature is very different. One is very submissive, other is very argumentative by nature. One is ready to fight with Krishna for Radharani. So what happened was when Krishna was leaving Vrindavan, that time all the gopis they were in separation from Krishna, and Lalita was heading all these gopis to this area where this kund is, and they were actually sitting there meditating upon Krishna. They were lamenting, they were missing Krishna's disappearance. And then later, Krishna allowed this place to be filled with water. So this is a place where gopis kind of did meditation on Krishna once Krishna departed for Mathura. So that's how Lalita Kund manifested. And Lalita Kund is very near to Radha Kund. When we go for Radha Kund Parikrama, this is the first kund which we will see. Now, when we go ahead from Radha Kund, the next which comes is Kusum Sarovar. This is very, very famous and one of the most scenic places in Govardhan. Very beautiful, especially if you have been there during the night time. It's really very beautiful, the way it is lit up, and it's amazing place to be. So Kusum means flowers. So Govardhan is filled with lots of kundas and sarovars. It's mostly many water bodies are there. Why? Because Krishna used to take his cows to Govardhan, and cows need two things: grass and water. So Govardhan was supplying abundance of grass and a lot of water. Everywhere there were kundas and sarovars. That's how Govardhan was sustaining all these cows. So this Kusum Sarovar, how this got the name? Kusum means flowers. So right now, when we go, we will not see flowers here. It's all stones, all done by us, the Kali Yuga devotees. But that time it was filled with lot of flowers. And Radharani and gopis, they used to pluck flowers from this place because this place had very unique kind of flowers. So they used to pick best of flowers and make garlands for Krishna. So that was their job at this place. So once what happened was Radharani was picking flowers and she was walking. And that time, because Krishna loves to tease Radharani, nothing is straight about Krishna. Like if we go into pastime of Lord Ram and Sita, Ramji hardly teased Sita Ma. He was like very uh, nice husband. We all can dream of that husband. So Ramji is like that, but Krishna is like always teasing, irritating, and still Radharani is loving him. So now Radharani is nicely plucking flowers, and Krishna wanted to have some fun. So what he did, he dressed up as a gardener, as a mali. And then from a distance, he started shouting, "Hey, who is plucking the flowers?" And Radharani got scared. All the gopis, because they couldn't identify Krishna, they got scared and they started running. Even Radharani started running. And while running, some flowers fell from Radharani's hand. And that time, Krishna came as Krishna in front of Radharani. And immediately looking at Krishna, Radharani started almost crying. Now these flowers are dirty. I can't make garland for you. These are not fit for you. Why you did this? And that time Krishna said, no, these flowers are perfect. So Krishna took those flowers, dipped it into the water which is there in the sarovar, and gave these flowers to Radharani that now you can make garland. And in fact, Krishna placed some flowers with his hand into Radharani's hair and braid. So this picture, some of you must have seen. It's a very famous picture where Radharani is sitting with a mirror and Krishna is sitting behind. and Radharani is trying to see the mirror, and all she can see is Krishna only in the mirror. So very famous picture. So this is the pastime that took place at Kusum Sarovar, where Krishna placed these flowers in the bread of Radharani. So why Krishna did this? Actually, Krishna didn't want garland for himself. Krishna wanted to place some flowers in Radharani's hair. So that's why he did all this drama of shouting and scaring Radharani. And at the end, he did this pastime. And because this pastime happened at this Sarovar, the flower pastime, this place is called as Kusum Sarovar. When we move ahead from Kusum Sarovar, the next we will come across is Narad Kund. So Narad Kund has its own glories. It's very, very glorious place for all the practicing devotees, because this is the place where Narad Muni performed lots of austerities. So Narad Muni, he wanted to participate into the Leela of Radha and Krishna along with gopis. And that time when Narad Muni came, Vrinda Devi, she's Tulasi Ma, she's in charge of Vrindavan. So she said, Narad, you being a man cannot enter into Radha and Krishna's pastime, because in Radha Krishna's Leela there is only one man. Who is that man? Krishna. Other has all everyone is woman, and Narad, you being a man cannot participate. So then Narad says, what should I do? Vrinda Devi said that you have to do lots of austerities, because to become a gopi is not easy. They have been there serving for many, many lifetimes, desiring to be in Krishna's pastime, and now they have become gopi. So you have to go through that austerity. Imagine Narad Muni's topmost devotee, and still gopis are being said higher than Narad Muni. So Narad Muni sat here and he did lots of austerity near this kund. And at the end, Yogmaya, she appeared, and it was of course all the pastime. She appeared, she took Narad Muni to Kusum Sarovar, asked him to take a dip. And when Narad took a dip, he came out as a gopi. So it's called as Naradi Gopi. So like that, Narad Muni became a woman. So sometimes we women think, oh, when it comes to few things, we think we are less privileged. Sometimes this happens, oh, the man can do everything. Especially I was listening to one of the offering about my Guru Maharaj today. So the senior devotee, she was telling, because we are women, we cannot go close to our Guru. Only man can go close to our Guru, and they can be in the close proximity, and we being women are deprived of that physical association of Guru. So all these kind of things sometimes cross our mind, that there are some limitation. But imagine, to be closer to Krishna, we have to be women. Not to say that men, you all can't be in presence of Krishna, but there is only one Purusha. All other Krishna's pastime has to enter as a woman. So Narad Muni became woman, and then he was able to get association of Krishna and all the gopis. So this is Narad Kunda. When we move ahead from Narad Kund, this is Mukharvinda. Mukharvinda is also the place from where many people start parikrama. Like we start from Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. So different sampradayas, they follow different rules. So Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, because we start from Radha Kund or Shyama Kund. But there is other sampradaya like Vallabhacharya, and they start their parikrama from Mukharvinda. So Mukharvinda means Mukha Arvinda. These are two words. Arvinda means lotus. Mukh means face. Whose face is like lotus. Whose face is like lotus? Thank God we all are saying Krishna. If we are at home, we'll say it's me. So it's Krishna's face. Imagine when we look at the mirror, how many times we think about Krishna? All we look at ourselves in the mirror. Today I am looking like a lotus. But it's Krishna's face is like lotus. So he's called as Mukharavinda. Is one of the names. So this is the place where This place is called as face of Giriraj Govardhan. So Giriraj Govardhan is manifesting in a mountain form, but there has to be a face. So this is the face of Girirajji. And this is the place where all the bhoga offerings are done, because of course Krishna can eat from anywhere. He doesn't need to be eating from mouth. But because of our human interchange, this is the place where we offer lots of bhogas here. So today we are trying to offer some bhogas to Girirajji. Sonal Mataji, when you get the time, just count how many bhogas we are offering. So it's very important. The Chappan Bhog comes from Girirajji's. That what is the logic behind Chappan Bhog? Chappan means 56. So Krishna was when he was holding Govardhan mountain. So he was holding the mountain for 7 days. Indra was pouring rain continuously for 7 days. And Krishna was not eating anything because he's holding the mountain. So for 7 days he was, according to our calculation, he was starving. But Krishna can never starve. But then what happened when this Leela was over? Now Mother Yashoda is like, oh, my Kana is starved for 7 days. And every day Mother Yashoda cooks for Krishna 8 meals, 8 times. Now this is opulence. I don't think any of us, being however excellent cook are, we have 2 excellent cooks sitting behind. None of us, now Prajita Mataji is looking, who is that? It's so even none of us can cook, or maybe we can, but I don't think we are cooking 8 times for our children. 8 different, and that 2 different dishes. But Mother Yashoda used to do that. Of course, I'm not doing that. So 8 into 7 is 56. So like that, Mother Yashoda calculated, oh, my Kana missed 56 meals. So then to accommodate that missing portion, all the Vrajvasis, they offered Chappan Bhoga, 56 bhogas to Krishna. That's how 56 bhogas come. We managed to have 56, Mataji? 41. We fell a bit short. Krishna is still hungry. Yeah. So this is how Chappan Bhoga. But we should not restrict to Chappan Bhoga. When we say Chappan is like, it's just a number. We should offer as many Bhoga as we can. And Giriraj is capable of eating everything. He can just look at anything and he can just digest everything. Recently, I have been to Yatra in Govardhan, and there all the devotees on the day of Govardhan cooked there, and they cooked 3,500 offerings for Krishna. It was a competition actually. It was just 1 hour slot, and we were given these chulas, the earthen chulas, the traditional one, and the groceries were given, and we were asked just cook. Now everyone wanted to cook. There was a queue. Of course, we did the registration before, so those who didn't register, they were also trying to get into somehow. It was a big fight who will cook, and one devotee was cooking at least 5 dishes, 6 dishes. They were like announcing, please, please leave, let others come. So it was like a fight was going on, how much we can cook. And it was 3,500 bhogas offered. When we looked at it, it was like, wow, this is how Giriraj should eat. So it's very important to cook for Krishna with love. So this is Mukharbind. When we move ahead from Mukharbind, next we come across is Chakaleshwar Mahadev. This is also called as Chakratirtha. So this very, very important place. Actually, wherever there is Krishna, we will find there is presence of Lord Shiva. This we cannot separate Shiva from Krishna actually, because Shiva is topmost devotee of Krishna. He is the topmost Vaishnava. So sometime we see this fight in the Shivites, Vaishnavites. But when we understand more, there's no difference. There's no nothing to fight about. It's one is Bhagwan and one is Bhakt. So we cannot separate Bhakt from Bhagwan. So Lord Shiva is the topmost Bhakt and Krishna is the Bhagwan. So there are 5 major temples of Lord Shiva in the Brij Mandal. One is in Vrindavan, one is in Mathura, one is in Govardhan. Like that, there are 5 places. One is in Kamevan. So in Govardhan, there is Chakleshwar Mahadev. So how did Chakleshwar Mahadev appear? It's a very beautiful pastime. So during this Govardhan Leela, when Krishna was lifting the Govardhan mountain and Indra was just sending this Samvartak cloud and it was bursting with rain. Now we cannot imagine what kind of rain it was. For us, we can think, oh, it may be like a cyclone. No, it was the clouds of devastation. Samvartak is called when there is a when there has to be an annihilation, end of the world, end of the universe. That's the time these clouds are called. It pours water like so that everything will get submerged in the water. Entire planets go down in the water. So it's a very, very heavy kind of rain. We can just imagine. We cannot understand the intensity. So this was the kind of rain that Indra sent. Imagine how Brajmandal can survive. The clouds of devastation are there, but then there is Krishna. If Krishna is there, so there's a saying, Rakhe Krishna, Mare Krishna, Rakhe Ke. So if Krishna is saving something, who can kill? So Krishna is there personally present. He is lifting the Govardhan mountain and he is standing, and all the Gopas and Gopis are standing below this mountain, but still the water is too much. It of course the Gopas, Gopis, they will be protected, but their houses and everything will go in the water definitely. So then what Krishna did, he asked his Sudarshan Chakra that you give a shelter, kind of create a canopy above the mountain so that the water doesn't come that much. It doesn't come affect the Brajmandal. You have to divert the water. So Sudarshan Chakra started rotating with full speed above the Govardhan mountain. But then also the water was too much. And that time Krishna called Lord Shiva. He said that, see, Shiva is called whenever there is an extreme situation, when there was a poison which came out of Samudra Manthan. Lord Shiva was called, drink the poison. And now Krishna called Lord Shiva that please absorb this water in your hair, because Shiva has matted here. So in your mat, just absorb this water so that the entire Brajmandal, entire earth is protected. So Lord Shiva started absorbing all the water. And when this water was absorbed, the pastime was over. This Sudarshan Chakra didn't know that it was Lord Shiva was also absorbing the water. So that everyone, what is our situation? Even Sudarshan Chakra can get pride. Sudarshan Chakra got proud that, oh, I was the one who was, diverting the water. Krishna took my help. See, the ahankar can come at any place. Now we will think Sudarshan Chakra is a disc. No, Sudarshan Chakra is also a person. Everything in Krishna Leela is personified. So Sudarshan Chakra started getting this pride that I am the one who is saving. And Krishna needed my help. So I am like, the neck of Sudarshan Chakra got bit high. And he didn't know that it was Lord Shiva. And that was the time Krishna called Sudarshan Chakra and told that no, it's not you, it was Lord Shiva. You were failing at one point. It was Lord Shiva who absorbed the water. And that's why Lord Shiva is your Ishwara. So Chakra is Sudarshan and Ishwar of Chakra is Chakreshwar. So it was initially the name was Chakreshwar. In the language, it gets changed to Chakleshwar. So that's how from Chakreshwar, Lord Shiva got this name. Shiva got is Chakleshwar Mahadev. So this is one of the very important place to visit if we are doing the Govardhan Parikrama, because we have to beg from Lord Shiva that please allow us to serve Krishna. Lord Shiva can take us close to Krishna. Lord Shiva has that potency because he is the pure devotee. When we move ahead, next we have is Manasi Ganga. As the name says, Ganga river we all know. Manasi means something which is coming from mind, Manas. So quickly, the pastime is once Nanda Maharaj and everyone in the Braj Mandal, they wanted to go for a pilgrimage. They wanted to go to Haridwar and have the dip in Ganga river. At that time, Krishna said that why you have to step out of Braj? Every dham is in Braj. So you need not to go. Even Mother Ganga is here. And took all, of course, everyone. The quality of Brajvasi was whatever Krishna says. Yes, sir. All the Brajvasis, all the gopis, all the Gopas, their first quality was if Krishna says something, yes, it is true. That is the quality of a devotee. That makes us the pure devotee. Why we are not pure devotee? Some of you are. I am not. But why we are not pure devotee? If someone says something, some acharya says something, we have all doubts. We always, oh, is this true? Is this really happened? Is it mythology? Is it? We have, because we are very intelligent. And Gopas and gopis, if Krishna is saying something, yes, that's true. So Krishna said, no, this is Ganga. Krishna just meditated and Mother Ganga appeared in Brajmandal, in the Govardhan. And all the Brajvasis happily jumped into Mother Ganga, took bath, and they were happy doing their pilgrimage. So this is how Manasi Ganga appeared. And Manasi Ganga is, some devotees do start their parikrama from Manasi Ganga as well. However, there is no rule. We can start our parikrama from anywhere. Wherever we are, we have to finish at that place. So this is all in the mind. I have to start here, there. Anywhere we start, it's Giriraj. We have to just do the full parikrama. And then when we move ahead, comes the next is Dan Ghati. So like the name says, Dan means donation. Ghati is generally it's the valley of a mountain. So because it's the valley of Giriraj Govardhan. So here Krishna, the word is used as Dan, however, it should be tax ghati actually. So Krishna here used to collect tax from gopis. So when they used to go across, Krishna used to charge them. You have to give me some 10%, 20% of your yogurt, milk if you want to go ahead. So this taxation system came from that time. So if we are cursing UK government for whatever 40%, this was taught by Krishna. You have to give the tax. So he started collecting tax to give me 10% of your curd and milk. And so here Krishna used to actually forcefully take the dan. I don't know how it is done. It's actually robbery. You are just taking, but still devotees take the dan ghati. It's a tax ghati actually. So rather, I mean, it's a beautiful pastime used to take place here in the Dan Ghati. And then when we move ahead, there is this temple. The name it sounds very funny. It's called Pujri Ka Lota. However, it's not Lota, it's Lota actually. THA. So Pujri is a village. Pujri means the tail. So Giriraj Govardhan we see in the beginning, it's like shaped like a peacock feather, and the end of the tail. So that place is there. It's called Pujri, and this Lota was the best friend of Krishna. So when Krishna was leaving for Dwarka, that time Krishna said that come with me to Dwarka, and this Lota said no. I love Braj. I can't leave Braj. This is another quality of Brajvasis. It's very difficult for them to leave Braj. Even if they leave Braj, there's something about Braj which will pull them back. They said, even if Brajvasis goes out, they are bound to go back to Braj. So he said, no, I don't want to leave and I'll stay here. You go to your Dwarika. And at that time, this friend of Krishna, he said, but I'll wait for you and I will not eat or drink anything until you come back. Now, Krishna had no plan to come back immediately. So, Krishna gave him a boon that even if you will not eat or drink anything, you will never starve, you will never die. So, Pujri Ka Lota is eternally there, still there. And Krishna also gave one benediction that my devotees for yugas, where they will come to Govardhan and where they will come to offer parikrama, you will be taking their attendance. You will be observing. So people actually go and show their face to Pujri Ka Lota. I am here. My attendance, take my attendance. So it is said he is taking attendance of everyone and he reports to Krishna. So Puchli Ka Lota Baba is like our Jayesh Prabhu because he takes attendance who has come to our program. So uh, is eternally there. That's the benediction Krishna has given. So it is very old temple. Recently, I was hearing to my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhana Swami, and he was saying, Puchrika Lota is well fed. And it was like, because he looks very chubby and healthy. So he said, though he was starving, he didn't eat anything, he didn't drink, still he is so well fed. He looks very healthy. So that's Krishna's boon. Even if he's not eating, he's always healthy and staying there. And then there are some more kundas. There are many, many kunds, but I took only 13, 14 today. So these all are which are going to come now is related to, again, the pastime of Indra. But when this Indra came to his senses, he realized that he's having a fight with Supreme Lord Krishna. And that time he came to say sorry. Indra keeps on coming to his senses again, and he again goes back to his ways. So this is Indra. So he was like there to say sorry, and now he was scared. How will I go alone? So he took all the help. He came with his Eravat. He came with Mother Surabhi, cow, because he knows Krishna loves cows. If he'll go with cow, maybe Krishna will be less angry. So this is how the children does when the father is angry. They take mother. They take someone go and talk. So you have all protection layer to create. So like that, Indra created that. So here, Eravat, at this place, he did Abhishek of Lord Krishna. Krishna was sitting at a rock, and first thing Eravat did was the Abhishek, and because of that Abhishek water, this kund was created. And then next is a Govinda Kund. So here, Mother Surabhi did Abhishek of Lord Krishna with her milk. And so it is said this, though it looks like water, it is Mother Surabhi's milk, which was collected in this kund when she did the Abhishek of Lord Krishna. And then there is a Surabhi Kund. So it may be confusing. Surabhi Kund did Abhishek here or there. She did Abhishek in Govinda Kund. Surabhi Kund was created by Vajrana, great grandson of Krishna. Because Surabhi, after doing Abhishek, she did not want to leave. She wanted to stay in Braj. So she stayed back actually for long time. And she wandered in the forests of Vrindavan, in the forest of Govardhan. And that to observe that to as a respect to her, Vajna established this kund for Mother Surabhi. And when our parikrama is about to get over, when we are about to reach back to Radha Kund, comes Uddhav Kund. So Uddhav, how many of us have heard of Uddhav? Anyone who doesn't know who is Uddhav? Anyone? Okay. Yeah. So Uddhav is he resembles like Krishna, and so Uddhav was sent by Krishna to gopis when Krishna left Vrindavan, and Uddhav was very scholarly actually. So Krishna sent Uddhav that go to gopis and give my message, because Uddhav was thinking these gopis are like cowherd women. They are illiterate. Their love is more like attraction and lust. So many things was there, and because he was so scholarly, like we all are so scholarly. So we are like Uddhav. So Uddhav went to Braja to give gyan to gopis. That this is how we should worship Krishna. Not you should not lament. You should not miss Krishna. But when he went, when he saw gopis' love, when gopis took his reverse class, he went there to give them class, but gopis took Uddhav's class. And that time Uddhav realized what real love is. And he became so spellbound by Gopi's love that he stayed in Braj for 6 months. He couldn't leave. And then Radharani said, Uddhav, now you go, Krishna is waiting for you. So Uddhav left that time. But before leaving, he made a prayer that in next life, I want to become a grass or a creeper in Braja. I don't want to become gopi, or I don't want to become any exalted devotee. I just want to become grass or a creeper, because grass and creeper are something on which gopis and devotees will walk. I want the dust of their lotus feet. That's all I want. This was the biggest or topmost desire a devotee can have. We many times think about getting liberation, going to Vaikuntha, going to Golok Vrindavan, becoming this in Krishna's pastime, that in Krishna's pastime, seeing Krishna, talking with Krishna. How many of us will want to become grass or a creeper? So that was the topmost desire Uddhav had, that I want to become a grass so that I can, life after life, I will take dust of gopis on my head. So this was his desire, and it is said at Uddhav Kund, Uddhav is still residing as creeper in grass. He's still there, eternally there. And in Skanda Purana pastime comes when after Krishna left, Krishna's queens were lamenting, were missing, and that time they came to this place, and with Vajanav they all were here. And actually, one night during the kirtan, everyone started manifesting from this school, including all the Gopas, Lord Balram, Krishna appeared at the end, and Uddhav also came out. So this is also a pastime that Uddhav is eternally residing here. So like Pushrika Lota is eternally residing, the Uddhav is also here at this Uddhav Kund. So this is our quick parikrama today. The Manas parikrama we did for Giriraj Govardhan. Why? Yeah, this is my favorite eating of Giriraj Govardhan from Govardhan Eco Village. This is near Mumbai. He's very, very beautiful. So why we should know all this? Because then next time we go to Vrindavan, we have something to meditate upon. Who is Giriraj? How we can love someone if we don't know that person? To love someone, we have to know the person. We cannot directly love. Now when we will see Giriraj, we will have some understanding who Giriraj is. And why Giriraj is very important or very powerful, because Giriraj has two roles. Giriraj is Krishna and Giriraj is Bhakta. He is devotee also. Giriraj plays two roles simultaneously. He is Krishna himself, but he is servant of Krishna as well. He is Das as well. It's very unique position. Krishna can never be someone's Das, but Giriraj is like that. So that's why Giriraj is someone, if we approach Giriraj as devotee, Giriraj can give us that mood of a servant. Giriraj can give us that pure devotion. Giriraj can bless us with that association with Radharani and Krishna. So all the sages, all the acharyas in our sampradaya, they actually took shelter of Giriraj Govardhan. They went to Vrindavan, they went to Mathura, they went to Vrindavan, but actually at the end, they ended up being close to Giriraj. So Giriraj is very, very powerful. And today we can all pray to Giriraj that Giriraj, please make us capable to serve Krishna and Radharani. Please give us the strength to serve Radharani and Krishna. Please take away all the anarthas from our heart, which are becoming the obstacle in serving Radha and Krishna. Please make us pure. What Krishna needs purity. We are not pure. We are nowhere close to pure. But Giriraj can make us pure. So today, when we are here, we can pray whatever is there in our heart. Someone was asking me recently when we were doing parikrama, why people are doing parikrama. They do intense parikrama, they do danvas. At one place, they will do 1,000 danvas. Then they will take next step. Then they will do 1,000. So someone was asking me, what is motivating them? So there are different motivations people have. Some people come with material motivation. Those desires are also fulfilled. Giriraj is not like he will only give us spiritual things. If we go to him with material desires, he will give us. But it's said, if we have aeroplane, and if we sit in aeroplane and the aeroplane just keep on running on the runway, is it serving its purpose? We can run with car also. Aeroplane needs to fly. So if we are taking shelter of Giriraj Govardhan, we should ask for the topmost thing, which is service to Radharani and Krishna. So Giriraj can give us that.